Hey everyone, I hope everyone's well and having a good day so far. Unfortunately, it seems like our day just got ruined. We're knocked out of the FA Cup to Nottingham Forest yet again. Nottingham Forest won, Arsenal nil, and a performance that caught me off guard. It was an abysmal performance overall and a shambles, non-existent midfield whatsoever. Before I get into the match reaction, I do want to give a mention to a good friend of mine, Shocks, who passed away from meningitis. RIP Shocks. Um, and yeah, in terms of this game overall, we threw a game that we could have won and could have put our best performance on the pitch. I know we didn't have Smith Rowe and Granit Xhaka today, but we had 0 shots on target and a non-existent midfield. We had no sense of urgency whatsoever, and Nottingham Forest were bullying us and playing us to the T. Way too much inexperience in the squad today. We didn't play any first team midfielder. And it was supposed to be an opportunity for us to win something, and we bottled it. This or the Carabao Cup was two of the potential trophies. Either one we could have won or could have had a good chance at winning. And today we just didn't turn up. And more importantly, we didn't put up a convincing performance at all. A really disappointing performance. We looked like prime Real Madrid in those white kits today, but we played like Cardiff City on the pitch today, with all due respect. We had no midfield whatsoever. We were simply going into a game, playing a game with no experienced midfielder, and there was no link up play between the defense and the attack. And I'll go into the attack later, but we had no midfield whatsoever. Take that into account. Patino is a great prospect. He's a young player, but I think today just wasn't the game for him. And it was way too early for him to start this kind of game. This level of intensity, he's just not ready for it. And you can tell how he looked like a deer in headlights. Laconga also didn't offer much today. He looked like a shadow of his usual performances. And I'm not sure if feelings of COVID are still affecting him, but he just didn't look right today. Collectively, though, this was an abysmal performance, and none of us turned up today. Leno was the only player who kept us in the game and made some good saves during the first half, end of the first half, and in the second half. We had 0 shots on target and deserved nothing from the game. Nottingham Forest deserved a lot more from the game. They turned up and they were playing great pressing football and were attacking through. Attacking wise, Eddie Nketiah, how dare you reject a contract from Arsenal Football Club with the arrogance and selfishness you have? You will never get a club like Arsenal, a big club, to play under. And, the way you didn't turn up today when we needed you, yes, you turn up against a team like Sunderland, a League two side, or even in a League One side, you've turned up for us. But when we need you to step up and turn up for us, you go missing in games. And you do not give us 110% on the pitch, Eddie Nketiah. This just isn't good enough. And I really feel he's not that Premier League experienced player that we need in our squad. This was an abysmal performance and a shambles overall. It was really disappointing to watch and felt like a snooze fest to watch, to be honest. In terms of Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli were getting triple tagged on by the Nottingham Forest players and didn't offer much. They were also non-existent going into the game. And, now all we have to play for is the Carabao Cup first round against Liverpool. Hopefully we turn up there at home and try to get top 4 at the end of the season. I think Nuno Tavares has a lot to learn. I think it was a bold move from Arteta to sub him off in the 30 minutes as he was making a lot of displaced passes, really rash at decision-making, and too raw on the ball. I think it was a bold move from Arteta to bring Kieran Tierney on and sub off Nuno Tavares. Holding had to cover the space that Nuno Tavares was leaving behind several times, and he was not offering anything going forward. Tavares was just having a really poor game and needs to improve a lot defensively. I understand that he's young and prone to making mistakes because he's still learning, but he just didn't have a good game today whatsoever, and he was really getting outdone by the Nottingham Forest players. Patino is trying to make himself available, but he was playing too far forward currently and leaving Sammy Laconga by himself oftentimes in the midfield. And Sammy needed a partner, but Charlie Patino just couldn't step up to that level. And it unfortunately affected the formation overall, what we are playing. Rob Holding is absolutely terrible. and should not be playing for Arsenal Football Club anymore. We got to get rid of him in the summer, or if not in the January window, if the opportunity arises. But more importantly, speaking of the transfer window, we desperately need a new midfielder, if not two experienced midfielders. Bring me a Gini Wijnaldum on loan. Bring me a Bruno Guimaraes if possible. Bring me a Renato Sanchez if possible. As soon as January, we're extremely light in midfield, and today's game showed desperately why we need an experienced midfielder more than we need that striker position filled in January. It's a huge issue for us going forward to play Liverpool at home with, missing our midfield. We really need to sign an experienced midfielder. Today, we had no urgency whatsoever. Even in the second half, we had no intensity and didn't even try to up the intensity. The players looked like they were just out of it and didn't care. Thursday's game now is more important than ever before. We need to put our A game and a convincing performance, and we need to really play 110% on the pitch. Give it all. Now all our eggs are in one basket in that Carabao Cup, as that's the only trophy that we could potentially win. Cedric, Leno, Holding, and Eddie Nketiah need to be sold for sure. If you can't sell them in January, sell them in the summer. Patino, Tavares, and Lukanga, they have a potential, but they're not ready for first-team football, and they're very raw talents. They're still learning. They're going to make mistakes, and we're in dire need of experienced midfielders before that striker position is fulfilled. Overall, today's performance was extremely disappointing and highlighted the importance of us needing an experienced midfielder. I really hope Thursday's game makes up for this. I need to see the boys give me a convincing performance. I'll see you all later for the Thursday's match reaction. Take care, everyone, and have a good rest of your day. Also, RIP Shocks. Rest in peace. Take care, everyone.